Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Please board quickly and safely. Our monorail will be departing momentarily. Thank you.
Hey everybody, it's Bob Collar here, sitting in the Savannah View room at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, looking at some giraffes and some kind of animal thing. Sorry, Safari Mike, I'm not big up on all the animals, but I will say the bird, that mama bird I was talking about on the last episode, that's an African crane. So 4 eggs down there. We're hoping that they hatch before we leave, but if they don't, that's okay. It's been just spectacular here at the lodge. Have had very little problems, few housekeeping issues, but that happens sometimes, and Disney took care of it right away. Real quick, before I tell you a little bit more about what's gone on so far, I want to throw out 2 great shout-outs, or 2 shout-outs to 2 great cast members. The first one has to go to Lacey over at Mouse Gears over, of course, in Epcot. My daughter had purchased a cell phone cover for her phone, and it was a Iron Man looking thing. She's big into Iron Man, Tony Stark. You know, what girl isn't in love with Tony Stark? Anyway, so she got the thing, and I put it on her phone, and the problem with it was it snapped together. It was 2 parts, and when you put it on, it would snap together. So my daughter's carrying this thing around. Of course, this thing's really big because it looks like Iron Man. And we couldn't get... She said, "Dad, can I put my old cover back on?" And as we went to try and get it off, it wouldn't come apart. So took it back down over to Mouse Gears and said, "Look, we just want to take this thing off, and we can't get it off. Can you help us out?" And Lacey, behind the counter, was just spectacular. She asked if she could take the phone backstage to have them take a look at it. We said sure. We had all the confidence in the world that our phone would come back fine, which it did. But she was spectacular about the whole thing, and refunded our money and all of that, because they ended up having to break the cell phone cover to get it off. So bad design there for that Iron. It's really a cool looking cell phone cover, but you're never getting that thing off once it's on. So without at least destroying it. So special shout out to Lacey over at Mouse Gears, and also to new friend Michael Black over at the Sassagoula Float Works over at of course Port Orleans French Quarter. I know I've said my kids are not big fans of Sassagoula Float Works because of the big masks and all of that. But we went over there to meet Michael, who's a longtime listener of the show, and man, I got to tell you, that guy, he makes the baguettes over there, and I finally understand the scene in Princess and the Frog with Big Daddy wanting those baguettes. Man, and Michael makes some fantastic baguettes over there. So another special shout out to our new friend Michael Black over at the Sassagoula Float Works at Port Orleans French Quarter. So thanks again, Michael. That was fantastic, and keep making them baguettes, man, because I think you put almost as many smiles on people's faces as Mickey Mouse himself. So I know people were just chowing those things down. But all right, so here's what's happened so far. On our first day, we had to check out. I told you in the last episode we were running over to check out the last day of Star Wars weekends here at the Disney Hollywood Studios, and got to tell you, that was very cool. If you ever get a chance, if you're a Star Wars fan at all, you got to check out the Star Wars weekends over at the studios. They had a huge tent, a temporary tent back behind. It was set up behind Rock and Roller Coaster, and it was the Darth Maul. Get play on words there. It was a big mall with just a whole bunch of Star Wars merchandise and Star Wars Weekends merchandise. Fantastic. There were so many cool things. I've put a couple of pictures on Twitter about it. And you could get the pictures with some of the stars from the movies there. And it was really a neat little shop. We spent quite a bit of time in the Darth Maul tent, and of course purchased a couple of things too. So, but Star Wars Weekends was spectacular. A lot of people walking around in costumes and all of that. Disney encourages people to come around in costumes. You can't wear. I don't think they really like you wearing too much that covers the whole face, so they can't see who you are. But it was very neat, very cool to be there during Star Wars Weekends. Now I will say this. Thank goodness we had park hoppers, because by about noonish, 1 o'clock, it became super, super crowded. So we hopped the boat over to Epcot, and I mean, night and day. We got over to Epcot, and Epcot, it was like there was nobody there. So we just kind of walked around Epcot a little bit. We did have reservations over at Beer Garden, which was spectacular. Met a great family from Arkansas over at Beer Garden. And that was really good. Left there, could barely move because, of course, it's a buffet. And, oh, my gosh, the food is fantastic. Had way too many schnitzels. And it was just, anyway. So after that, we just kind of we meandered around Epcot for a while, rode some of the rides. Big crowds. We're not used to traveling usually in the summertime. We usually like that time between Thanksgiving and Christmas, because there's not a whole lot of folks down here. We take the kids out of school in order to do that, but you avoid a lot of the crowds. Now, this time we didn't do that. We came down in the summertime. That was the only time we could do it this year. And there's a lot more people down here. I can't lie. There's a ton of people down here. And a lot of the rides have long waits, but Fast Pass is great. And I'm going to say this. I tweeted this earlier. Not having ADRs is killing us right now. So if you're going to come down anytime during a very busy season, I know 6 months out is a long time to try and figure out what exactly it is you're going to eat, but you got to have those ADRs. Otherwise, you're not eating at any sit downs. Beer Garden seemed to be one that was open most of the time. We have been another little tip for you. Log on and register at the My Disney Experience app for your cell phone, because that has been fantastic. There's one of the birds making a lot of noise out on the savannah out there, and a giraffe. Anyway, the My Disney Experience app is fantastic because it will give you wait times. It will allow you to make dining reservations. It'll tell you what restaurants are still available for dining. So that's been invaluable to us. That's how we ended up actually getting into Beer Garden with no ADRs 6 months out. You need tools like that to try and find some places that are good to eat. And again, we've been doing a lot of counter service. Have enjoyed the counter service is what it is. It's quick food, but it's getting better. A lot of the restaurants are getting really good counter service selections. So. Check that out. Real quick, I just wanted to throw out as well the RFID. The RFID is now working on your room. Now, I haven't seen any of the wristbands yet, but they are the room cards, the typical room cards that we've always gotten with the castle on it and all that. It's the exact same looking ones, but it has RFID technology in it now. And as you go to get in your room, there's no more sliding the card in or any of that stuff. You just tap it to the little RFID plate that is on the door, and your door unlocks. When you go into the parks, as you've seen, and I've got some video. I'm going to be posting some video on our new YouTube channel coming up once I get home and can put some stuff together for you. The RFID works to get into the parks. So all you do is you put they're still using biometrics. You put your finger down, you tap your card to the little round Mickey head there, and once it turns green, you're good to go. It made it a lot easier and a lot quicker getting in and out of the park. So that has been very nice. And the RFID also is working at most of the cashier stations. So if you want to buy something, you go to any of the the shops, they'll have the little icon there. You tap it to you tap your card to the little Mickey face, and then all you do is punch in a PIN code that they have you put in when you first check into the hotel. You put in a little PIN code of your choosing, 4 numbers, whatever you want them to be. And when you want to go and purchase something, they don't slide it through anymore. You just tap it and you punch in your PIN code, and you've made your purchase. So we're getting ready to leave. We're going to head over again to Epcot this morning and finish up over at Magic Kingdom. And from there, we're going to, we've got a couple of more days. So I will give you another update in just mere seconds. See, that didn't take too long. Anyway, we are now on, believe it or not, already day 6. You all know what that feels like. You get here, and before you know it, you blink, and you're getting ready to pack up and head for home. But we still got another full day today, and we're going to take our time tomorrow before we take off and just have a little bit of fun at the pool and all of that fun stuff. I ended up not being able to go to Downtown Disney the other day because I ended up getting sick. Don't know why, but just not feeling well, so I came back to the room and took a nice long nap while everybody else ran around Downtown Disney. So, unfortunately, I am missing a Downtown Disney trip this trip. We may try and squeeze a little bit of that in tomorrow. I know we don't usually do this in the middle of a show, but the format, the way things are going, and I am on strict orders from Tim, and since he is the puppet master, and I have to do everything he tells me to, which actually is why I've been happily married for 15 years. I do everything my wife tells me to. So I'm trying to, just do the same thing here with the podcast so that, I got to keep Tim happy. Otherwise, he'll fire me. Anyway, we got a couple of shout-outs to some new listeners in Argentina and Oman, which is fantastic because I am learning so much geography thanks to you guys. I now know where Argentina and Oman are, so that is awesome. Thanks, guys, for listening to us. I also have got a little shout out there for our buddy Sean Woosley. Hey, Sean. If you remember, a long time ago, many episodes ago, Sean gave us the tip on the transportation cards and how cool the transportation cards are. You can pick those up at the monorail drivers have them, the boat drivers have them. Well, we finally picked up some transportation cards, and the kids love them. They are so very cool. I'm going to post some pictures to our Facebook page and probably throw those up on our YouTube channel once I get home and can do that. But very cool. It was a lot of fun. They were more than happy. The driver was more than happy to hand them out. He enjoyed it. Took a picture with the kids. So a lot of fun. Those. So Sean, thanks so much for the transportation cards. That was a great idea and a lot of fun. I also have a little request from everybody out there. Anybody who's listening in the Memphis or Nashville area, keep an eye out. We ran into a lovely young lady from the UK. Her name was Anna, or is Anna, and she was finishing up yesterday. Very sad day for her. She was finishing up her international job at the UK at Epcot. And very nice. She was still smiling and happy, but you could tell that it was killing her that she was finishing up her work at Walt Disney World, and her and another girl from over, I believe, in the Ireland section or store at the UK, they were going to take a little road trip. So they are taking a road trip through Memphis and Nashville. So if you run into a couple of girls from the UK, look for them, help them out if they need. They want to see a little bit of the country before they have to head back to the UK. So special shout out to Anna and her friend traveling the Nashville and Memphis areas, and then heading up to Canada, I guess, before they have to head home. So safe travels to them. Also, a very special friend, a good friend, was able to get me into the VIP suite in Spaceship Earth, sponsored by, of course, Siemens. This is for Siemens employees, friends, and family. So I feel honored because this person considers me a friend, which is great, and I'm truly honored. It was so very neat. You go up inside the Siemens VIP. You have to have a special way to get up in there and all of that. But oh my goodness, you sit there and it is just very. The air conditioning's fantastic, I can tell you. And I'll get to that in a minute about how hot it was at Epcot. But very cool. It was very nice of that person to let me get up into the Siemens VIP suite. Lots of beverages up there, a lot of interactive stuff for the kids to play with while we were up there. They have an entire floor, the hallway. You can change the color of the floor. There's lights underneath the floor, and you can change those. They've got a magic mirror that you can put your face on the magic mirror, and it pops up all kinds of stuff around your face, and just very cool. Not all that many people have the opportunity to go up into that, and just honored to be able to enjoy the Siemens VIP suite in Spaceship Earth. And one of the best parts of that, I got to be honest, and I know I'm going to get a lot of groans from this. One of the best parts of that, when you're done enjoying the suite, you get right on the ride. There's no waiting in line. There's no fast pass. There's none of that. You just go, you walk out, and where they are disembarking the people, you get to get right on the ride. And then you just sit there, and they treat you very well. So thank you, Siemens, and thank you, buddy, for getting me up there. That was awesome. I also want to throw out, since we're getting ready to wrap up this trip report, just everybody on Twitter and Facebook who's been following along with me. You guys have all been great. I'll individually thank you guys in an upcoming episode, but you guys have just been awesome. We've had a lot of fun bantering back and forth. You guys giving me some great tips on places to eat and all of that. So just thank you, everybody, for listening and for following along on Twitter and Facebook and giving me such great advice. You know, it makes you not feel like you're all alone. I mean, I'm here with my family, which is great, and all of that. But I always know that if I need some advice on something that I'm not really clear on here at Walt Disney World, all I got to do is throw out a shout out on Twitter or Facebook, and you guys come through. So thanks so much for that. All right, now back to the show. I got a couple of things for you. You all know that Disney now has Wi-Fi throughout the parks and Wi-Fi within the rooms. They've got a lot of work to do on that. So don't think you're going to come down here and do, oh gosh, I don't know, like a podcast from the parks or from your room. It's very sporadic. It drops out a lot. They've got some work to do on the whole Wi-Fi thing. It's kind of nice, but I was talking to my buddy Michael Black over at the Floatworks over there at Port Orleans, and he was saying how he's brought his iPad in and messed around with it a little bit, but it kept dropping out so much that it really wasn't worth bringing the iPad in. And then you got to worry about it getting damaged on a ride or something like that. So until Disney kind of works out the kinks on the whole Wi-Fi, you want to, I don't know, just I've used it for my iPhone, and like I said, it's sporadic at best. So the other thing we want to talk about is the gift cards. As many of you know that have been following along on this, I used a lot of Disney gift cards in order to pay for the trip, in order to get some discounts and that. Make sure that you hang on to those gift cards. Because if you don't hang on to the gift card and you need to take something back, it's almost impossible to get Disney to credit you without that original gift card. They need to put that credit back on that card. They can't give you cash for it, and they struggle giving you a new card. So just make sure you hang on to those gift cards till you're well at home and you know you're not going to return any of that stuff. Just kind of keep them in a drawer for a while. They're, it's a nice little souvenir anyway. It's got Mickey and the gang on them anyway. So just hang on to those gift cards. Don't, as soon as they're done, don't let the cast member hang on to them or throw them away for you. Keep those with you while you go. Now, I've got to do a little rant before I finish this episode up. So hang on to your hats, and you might want to close the kids' ears, because I have to say, for the love of everything that is good in Disney in this world, you people that are stopping in the middle of the walkways and the middle of the doorways, stop doing that. If you want to stop and talk and decide on what your plans are for the rest of the day, move to the side. That's all I'm asking. Move to the side. You got 65 million people behind you. Everybody's moving forward. Not you. You want to stop right in the middle. You're killing me. You are killing me. It's like Dory says, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Everybody, all us fish, got to move forward. Everybody got to move forward. If you don't want to move forward anymore, move to the side, then stop. Then stop. That's all I'm asking. So that's my rant. It just makes me crazy, I understand sometimes if you've dropped something, one of your kids has dropped, you got to stop. I get that. But you don't stop, especially if you got a big crowd. Don't stop in the middle of Main Street while everybody's moving forward at the opening bell there, or as people are trying to leave the parks. You don't just stop. And we had so many people they would come out of a store, come out of a restaurant, and they would stop as soon as they got outside the door and look around like, okay, where are we going now? Well, how's that helping the people that are behind you? Come on, help us out, folks. Everybody's hot. Everybody's tired. Everybody keep swimming. That's all I'm asking. Just keep swimming. Anyway, so that's my rant. That's my rant. And Tim, you can edit that out if you want. Speaking of the heat, okay, I got to let you know, yesterday we were at Epcot, had a great time at Epcot, very, very hot. Got back to the van in the parking lot there, and if you take a look at our Facebook page, I posted a picture of it, so there is proof. 102 degrees in the van. Now, that's the van just sitting in a hot parking lot, but it had to be close to 102 degrees everywhere for it to register that. So 102 degrees, which you need to go back to some of our one of our past episodes, how to beat the heat. But I got to tell you, and Tim turned me on to this guy. His name is John Panette. Look him up. He is a comedian. And Tim will tell you, he gave me a CD of John Panette's comedy routine. He calls it the Epcot Death March. And at first, being a Disney fan, you never want to hear bad comedy about Disney. But this guy is so funny, and it is spot on for traveling to Walt Disney World in the summertime. So check out John Panette and his Epcot Death March. That's a great little comedy routine. He's pretty clean for the most part. Check it out first, though, before you let the kids listen to it. That'll be a lot of fun for you. So we've had a great time. I've had a great time, doing this podcast while I was down here. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We will have a little bit more. I'm sure Tim's got some questions for me when we get back on future episodes, and we'll kind of go over that stuff. But we're getting ready to head over to the Animal Kingdom this morning. We're going to hit rope drop, I hope. And just waiting for my daughter to get out of the shower, which, you got a teenage girl. She is never getting out of the shower. So we're hoping to hit rope drop, and we'll be on our way. So, again, thanks everybody for listening. Follow us on Facebook /Resort Loop. Of course, the Twitter, Tim is Resort Loop Tim on the Twitter. I'm Resort Loop Bob on the Twitter. Our Facebook page, or our website, ResortLoop.com. Rate us on iTunes, all that fun stuff. You guys know, you've heard it enough from us. We appreciate you so much for listening. And again, thanks everybody for following along on Twitter and Facebook. It's been very comforting to know I've got backup out there. So for Tim Scott, I'm Bob Collar. This is your gateway to the magic. See you, everybody.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.